Labour may have previously promised not to increase taxes on working people, but the Chancellor admitted this morning that her budget will still hit people in their pockets. Wage rises look set to be held back as businesses worry about covering the cost of higher national insurance payments. And experts and opponents fear that could even lead to job losses. Rachel Reeves herself acknowledged the impact of her historic budget, saying she hopes never to have to repeat the £40 billion tax rises that she unveiled. But economists warn that more damage could still be to come, with years likely to pass before any of us feel better off. With the reaction, here's our political reporter, Jasmine Cameron-Chileshi.
After their first budget, now the task of selling it to the country. Heading to Coventry today, the PM and his Chancellor promised improved public services, but faced questions over the impact of higher taxes on businesses and living standards.
We have done the responsible thing with this budget, and we've taken key decisions, made key choices. We've chosen to protect working people, and therefore, for working people, no increase in their income tax, in their national insurance, their VAT. That's what we promised before the election.
Earlier today, the Chancellor received a warm welcome at this London hospital.
Huge congratulations on the budget and you in this role, delivering this as the first woman.
But she acknowledged increasing employers' national insurance could stifle wage growth. Do you admit that this increase on employers could hit workers' pay directly? And do you see that as a reasonable price to pay for stabilising public finances?
I think it is. It was a difficult decision. The hardest decision in the budget yesterday was on national insurance.
So you admit that this increase could hit workers' pay?
I absolutely accept that wage growth may be weaker than it otherwise would have been.
She said there would never be a repeat of yesterday's budget. Do you see yesterday as a kind of one-off emergency budget, or can you foresee yourself potentially coming back to the public once more?
I wanted yesterday to get everything out into the open and be transparent about the decisions that I needed to make. I'm not going to be coming back with a budget like this in the future.
Yet, experts warn pressures on businesses will be felt by workers and consumers.
A lot of the tax raises we've seen are focused on employer national insurance, and that does have knock-on effects on the economy. We'd expect that to feed through into lower wages and eventually onto people's pay packets, even if it's not a direct tax they see on their pay slips. And in West London today, a mixed response.
A big worry was that with a massive hole in the budget, are we looking at returning to austerity? And the fact that that's not happened is a massive positive thing.
I mean, I'll never vote Tory in my life, but I won't vote Labour now. Not now, not after this.
The PM and his Chancellor say their budget will improve economic growth, but the public will be watching to see if these aspirations will become a reality. Jasmine Cameron-Chileshi, ITV News, Westminster.
OK, let's get more analysis from our economics editor, Joel Hills, who's outside the Treasury for us. So, Joel, just how painful do the experts think that this could all get?
Short-term pain, long-term gain, that's the analysis. The Institute for Fiscal Studies and the Resolution Foundation were both out there shouting as loudly as they could before the election, warning that taxes and spending on public services were almost certainly going to have to go up by more than Labour and other political parties were setting out in their manifestos. And lo, it has come to pass. Now, the IFS says this morning that it was quite a warm welcome, actually, for many aspects of the Chancellor's budget. It's seen as a serious and credible attempt to face on some really mighty challenges. It thinks that the extra money that Rachel Reeves has found, if targeted well, will help improve services like in councils and in the court system and hopefully reduce NHS waiting lists and should at least across public services stop things from getting worse than they already are. But it won't feel like Christmas. That was what the IFS is saying, and it points out that a lot of the extra spending is front-loaded and that beyond 2026 the Chancellor will have to find around £9 billion from somewhere if she wants to avoid real terms cuts to other areas of government.
We may well not be out of the woods yet. Public spending pressures are such that more tax rises through this Parliament should not be ruled out. I'm not able to put a probability on that, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
So the Chancellor's decision to increase money for investment spending has also been praised this morning. It will drive growth in the long run, although the OBR points out that the long run is a long way off. In the meantime, the outlook for living standards in this Parliament isn't good. The Resolution Foundation calculates that if you look at the outlook for growth, which isn't very strong, plus all the tax and benefits changes that the Chancellor made yesterday, then it's very unlikely that the average household in Britain come the next election is going to be feeling materially better off than they are today.
OK, Joel, thanks very much.